YouTube. Welcome back to another Minecraft spooky video. Well, actually, this is the first one, all right? It's a Minecraft Halloween special. Halloween's coming up. It's a very spooky season. No more talking. Let's get into this video. This is gonna be a juicy one.
Old secondary school era group of friends were still knocking around together. We decided
Oh my
to do
god,
something
chicken!
for
How did they
Halloween.
know I was black?
We were all 16 going on 17, still very naive, but with tons of misplaced confidence. There were tons of house parties or pub nights and things to go to, but for one reason or another, we couldn't get into any of
Sexy
them.
house.
Then as the afternoon bled into the early evening and the sun started to go down, it was looking more and more like if we wanted to have fun, we'd have to make our own. We managed to pool what little money we could get a hold of and then sent the oldest looking amongst us into an off license to get some booze. I didn't think it'd work. We tried roughly the same tactics before and our oldest looking mate had been instantly ID'd.
Huh?
So when my old mate walked out of that off license with a full plastic bag in each hand, we celebrated like we'd just won the lottery. The only drawback was that our mate had come back with 3 bottles of wine, not beer that we'd asked him to buy. It said he
Ew.
panicked at the last second and then asked for
Beer?
the red wine because he felt like it made him seem older. He'd managed to pick up a few packets of cigarettes too, so as much as the red wine wasn't exactly what we'd been hoping for, our night was basically secured. We could have easily blagged our way into the house party at this point too, as the booze gave us a massive leverage. No one wanted 4 or 5 lads turning up to a party empty-handed, but with wine in tow, and with the potential to get more, we'd easily secure an invite or two. But then, as we walked and talked, discussing all of our potential options, we came to a sort of joint conclusion. All the parties that had dodged or danced around inviting us could just bugger off. We had all the makings of a good night, and it made no sense to spread the wine thin when we could just neck it all ourselves. So instead of chasing girls like we planned to, we grabbed a portable speaker and some firelighters and then headed for this old hangout that we knew of to get some privacy. So a few hours went by, we got our fire going, got the speaker working, and then took turns sort of glugging down the wine and trying not to puke.
Glug, glug, glug.
You have to remember, this was one of our first times drinking, and we were on the cheapest, nastiest red wine you can imagine. So needless to say, it was like getting drunk on vinegar. Anyway, picture
Did he
the
just say
scene.
the N-word?
We're all sat around the fire, and since our old hangout was in a tucked-away corner of quite a rough piece of parkland, there was no other lights except the fire and what little light was coming off of our janky early 2000s mobiles. One of us, a lad
the
called
hell?
Luke, somehow ended up trying to recreate the moments from The Shining, beat for beat, and we're all just laughing, trying to play Shelley Duvall's part to his Jack Nicholson.
What the hell?
We were being loud, and I remember that much, but we were being loud because we felt safe. The park was basically deserted after dark, and that's how it ended up being a chill spot for us. A place that we could get some privacy to do all the things our parents or neighbors wouldn't approve of us
Well,
doing.
naughty kids.
No one had ever intruded on us before, not even a sniff, so we didn't expect a single soul other than us to be in the park that night.
Ay,
We
ay, ay.
completely let our guard down, and we paid for it. I remember the scene like it was yesterday. Luke was still doing his Jack Torrance impression, standing a little back from the fire so that it was only partially lit by the flames' orange glow. All I saw was a shape moving up behind him,
Whoa.
and after doing a sort of quick mental head count, I realized that it wasn't any of us playing some kind of prank.
Whoa.
I looked back up, and all I saw was a mask, or at least the mask this complete stranger was wearing.
Whoa.
And then he swung something at
Whoa.
Luke's head. It all happened so fast that Luke was on the floor, and we were all still reacting to it. Then as the masked person with what appeared to be a big stick started smashing Luke with it when he was down on the ground, we all started to leap up in defense.
Whoa.
It was just a gut reaction, really, purely because it looked like we had him outnumbered, but we didn't have him outnumbered.
Where do I
We soon
go?
realized just how much trouble we were in. I just remember one of my mates backing off as the masked man swung for him with the stick, and then suddenly, there were loads of them, coming out of the darkness, throwing punches and kicks.
What the f-
Most had their faces covered, either with masks or with drawstrings of their hoods pulled tight. Each of us got a good kicking, both trying to fight back and in the process trying to get away. It was
Whoa.
complete chaos for a while,
No, the
just
story
running
is
and
fucked
tripping
up.
and trying to get some distance between us. At one point, right when I saw my other mates running and decided it was best to join them, someone kicked my legs out from under me, and then I was just trying to get back up. They bashed my head into the dirt, either with a hand or stamping on the back of my head. If it had been concrete they did it on, I think I'd have sustained a serious injury, but since it was just damp dirt and leaf litter, it didn't have much of an effect, and somehow I was able to keep running and get away. Now, Luke was okay. He did end up spending the night in the hospital, but was discharged late the next day with a nasty concussion and some bad bruising.
Holy shit, Luke.
Honestly, we were lucky that that's the worst it got. To this
I
day,
like
I
this
have
story.
no idea why those lads attacked us or who they were. For all I know, they could have been people we went to school with, people in the neighborhood we actually
Be
knew.
safe on Halloween, guys.
I know the world can be a cruel place, but that's the night that I learned just how cruel it could really be.
I did it! I did it! I did it! Oh, I did it. Oh my god, I did it.
Apologies in advance if I sound like an overprotective idiot here, but I took my kid trick-or-treating and then swore that she'd be back